Hey guys, here's a fun one. So, there's been a lot of focus lately on trying to understand other people's perspectives. But it occurred to me that the people's perspective is not the only slice of reality that there is. There's actually all the realities, how the animals, the birds, the plants, the flowers, the insects, how they're receiving the world. That all together would make the tapestry of the real world. And other people's realities is incredible. This is how bees and butterflies see flowers. When we look at that same flower, we see a white lily. Can you imagine how magnificent an entire garden of fluorescent flowers must be? In fact, this is what a bee sees when it looks at a black-eyed Susan. Basically, nature's designing a target for them to pollinate. And how fun is this? I couldn't even find a representation of how a bat sees the world. We're pretty sure they see a picture in their mind's eye that they get from sound, but no one could even guess what that actually looks like. So who's to say what the world really looks like? If you go by majority rules, it's fluorescent because there's over 2 trillion honeybees alone, not to mention mason bees and bumblebees. And what about hearing? We all know the expression quiet as a mouse. But interestingly, mice actually aren't all that quiet. They have a huge vocal range. However, the majority of their sounds are ultrasonic for humans. You know who can hear all those adorable squeaks? Yep, cats. In fact, cats have some of the best hearing of all the mammals on the planet. They hear things some of us never even dream of. And reality for elephants is even cooler. They do use their ears to hear, but more importantly, when they're getting heart messages from other family members or tribes long distance, they'll use their feet. Do you think chains would inhibit how these messages are received? And our understanding about horses' feet is also changing. Horses' experience was believed to be an immense communication back and forth through the earth through their feet. We believe by the shape of their hoof and their hoof falls, we can actually affect their emotional state and impact what kind of messages they can or cannot receive from the earth. I wonder how shoes would affect that. Perhaps the way worms hear would be the most alien to us, because just like we have the fluid in our ears to detect sound, they detect sound through all the fluid in their body. They literally feel the movements of the earth through their entire body. How cool must that be? And smelling is a whole different world. For example, many insects smell through their antennae. Ants are like the genius of the smell world. They have over 400 genes just to pick up scent. Ever notice how butterflies never fly straight? I wonder if it's because they're following these amazing scents that are wafting through the air, and it's almost like these threads of color and perfume covering the landscape. Horses can actually smell each other's emotions and use their sense of smell to figure out how they're doing within the herd. And what an incredible community trees have. When one acacia tree feels its leaves being eaten, it'll not only inject toxins into its own leaves to protect itself, it will then send warning messages to all of its neighbors to let them know to armor up as well. We believe they do this both through the wind and through the mycelium network that connects them in the soil. Clearly, their reality is one of connected community. It's a noble idea to understand the perspective of all the inhabitants of the earth. There's currently an estimated 8.7 million of us. We need to start figuring out the big picture. If you enjoyed this, please join our YouTube channel and drop by bridlesandbreath.com to learn about our home study courses.